Yeah, it looks like knee isn't looking. I don't see knee in chat. Until now. Top the grid in pits. Yep, definitely. Nobody literally cared about quali. Oh,
And we're about to start a goddamn race. The
and lights
one
are about.
final race.
Here we go. One final race at UAE, and it's already went off. There was no red, yellow, or green. But
That
anyways,
was pretty
here they go
fast.
into turn one. Evan takes the lead. Roms are right behind.
And pit also start to
Oh,
go
Pikachu's
go
gone
go
off. So
there.
does Cosma. The Aston Martin's already suffering, but everyone's now going out to pits. But looks like someone's went off. I think that was Evan.
It's a
Uh,
mess.
yeah. Oh, there's a flip card of
Oh my
Senna.
god, oh my god, oh
Oh,
my god.
Senna. Senna's already crashed. Senna's out
Senna, what the
already.
fuck?
Senna's Senna's hit the bump and now he's out of the race. The yellow flag. And from what? Oh, looks like VIP. And who's leading here? VIP or Romza? Oh, Romza. Looks like there's already a scramble between VIP and Romza.
So it's only yellow
And
flag and no
it's
safety
on.
car.
Yeah, looks like it's only a yellow flag into sector one. But looks like Evans fallen down. But also Limit. A great start already. P4. Because not
What is
looking.
that Red Bull doing there on the DRS strike?
Uh, which Red Bull? Is it Tronek? Is it Draxton?
So, nah, let's just continue.
Alright, anyways. Ramos is getting a purple second sector. Chris has fallen down. Like, dramatically. Oh, Kazoo! Looks like he went
Back
off.
on green.
Oh, and green when you pass the line. So you're allowed to overtake after you pass the line. But here they go, keeping going. Oh, Ramos just went off. Which gives VIP the lead. And everyone's suffering on that exact corner. I see that it's turn 3. But here
IP
they
is
come.
leading again, but
Yeah, VIP is leading, going fast. And Pikachu's now getting surrounded by Tronex and Limit, I think. Yeah, that's Limit. But also Blob in the back. But looks like Chris now, Purple Sector, is going really fast here. Right now, he's being chased right behind Mr. Rusty and Zector. And they're already on the DRS straight, going straight. And VIP still leading. Evan's now getting behind. But also both Mercedes 4 and 3 and 4, both of them can win the world championship here. It's it's based on how fast you can go around this track, but it's also the curbs that will dictate your championship here or the points because they are unforgiving, especially around the chicane here. Final corner, VIP and Romza still at it. Going to turn one, Romza's on the outside, so does VIP going down the inside. And it's a little bit of a lag there. Oh, VIPs went off then. That makes him lose P2 and
on
P1. Now
Tron
he's yeah. Now
went
Pikachu's
wide
ahead.
there.
Yeah, VIP's now
Wide
got to
there and lose.
P4, and that's very horrible for the Red Bull driver.
So Tron is
As
losing time there. He's going very slow there.
yeah, he's going really slow now. Not great start for the RDA driver who started P5. I'm pretty sure. And oh, looks like Mr. Rusty is P8 after starting from the pits. And Alfal for Alpine isn't doing oh so well. He needs to get a really high position if he wants to get the Steam save, but he's the only Alpine, so looks like Alpine. You might not see an Alpine in the future unless Limit and Rusty crash. But both of them actually together right now. Both teammates now fighting, but looks like VIP is suffering. He has about 2 red sectors, which is not a good look for his point driving here, but also for Red Bull. But then they
He,
shouldn't be that
he's.
fun right now.
I thought he's driving for Ferrari.
Well, he's driving for Red Bull, but looks like he has yellow at least. Okay, and looks like Brahms has also gotten a red, but he's still leading. Evan's right behind, and Pikachu's right behind him as well.
Um, he's a,
From my understanding here, from the point tally, Pikachu's winning the championship, but I don't know the points tally yet since I haven't checked. I'm very sorry. But what I think is Pikachu is winning from what I see for the championship right now. And the only person who's improving on their lap time is Romza, the race leader. Limit and oh, Limit's falling down a little. But Rusty's falling down a lot. And Kazoo here in the Haas is fighting Cosma, the Aston Martin. But Rusty stays ahead of Kazoo. That should be a wrap for him. And Blob right behind. He is a Ferrari driver, but I am not sure. But I'll just say he's from Ferrari, just from the car. But here you go. For turn one, Chris gets a better exit than Blob, gaining a bit of time now. Oh, Blob's head on the curb now loses the rear end a little, but it looks like it doesn't hinder him much. But Tronex and Trexton looks like he's lost the fight out to Tronex, but he's gone a little bit right there, and he's still fine there, even though he just a tiny bit wide. Shouldn't be a hinder to him, but Ramza, while 1 second is going fast. Evan, who's gotten pole with a 1:10.9, we saw most of the people thought the Evan would get first, but looks like he's not doing that much of a job here, giving Ramza a lot of space. It's now 2 seconds, and Evan's faster than his teammate, but he's still losing the championship. He needs Pika to be probably lower than 9th, I think, if you want, but he needs to be first in turn. Oh, Evans lost the rear end. The curves are very unforgiving, just as I say that. Pikachu gets the upper hand, but they're still together. Here they come, around the final corner. Who's gonna come out ahead of here? It's just a small straight. They both go wide. Well, not wide, but here they come. Into turn one, going down the inside then. Oh, looks like they're still together, both Mercedes, as they're now going to turn three. This is where Senna crashed. But will any of them make a mistake here? No, they do not. Now they're reaching turn four. It's now a small straight, then just a little bit of like a right turn. Yeah, whatever. And then down, they're into sector one. They're both improving. They're still together. Both Mercedes are still fighting, as they're now going to the first DRS straight. Yeah, looks like Evans got in the upper advantage, as he's now ahead by only a tiny gap. Pikachu's right behind, but also not by a big gap. Now going to the second DRS straight. You're gonna need a lot of ERS here if you want to get hope. But Evan goes a tiny bit wider on the curb. Pikachu's just right behind the rear wing. Pikachu's on the inside, Evan on the outside. Just a DRS straight, but now it's only the only purpose is ERS. Looks like they're both using regen. And then now going into the chicane. Going into the curbs. Looks like not much of a problem. Pikachu goes wide. Evan gets the upper advantage and wins the fight for now. But now it's the last turn era right now. And Evans won the fight against Pikachu and crossed the line. Only a 2 second gap still. This is not really looking good for Evan. He needs Pika to go lower. That'll be worrying for the Mercedes, but looks like Evan's got a little bit too much on the inside here. And Pikachu's still right behind. And looks like there's been a battle here. Blob's right behind Crystal, but not by far much. And Limit's chasing down Tronex, the RDA, Alpha itself. And Limit's just right behind, but also there's a fight right behind. Mr. Rusty and Trexton. They're both right near each other, and Rusty's taking a bit of a disadvantage by going off, but still keeps going. Now into the second DRS. It looks like from the point of view, Rusty's ahead and Trexton's falling down now. Rusty wins the fight. Trexton doesn't, which is very horrid. And Kazoo now with a green. Nothing much is happening, but Ramza. Oh, Ramza's coming in now for his first pit stop. Lap 8 on the mediums, from what I see. Let's see. And Ramza's on the mediums, yeah. And it looks like a very early stop for here. And the safety car driver just right there, and there's no dive bomb there. And he pits for softs. Interesting strategy for Ramza. Oh, and now he's already had a slide. Just like Senna, who had a massive slide as well, but doesn't crash out. Evan and Pikachu leads, but Pikachu, who still might win this championship from this point on. Evan is not getting really much luck here. He needs to at least hope for Pikachu to crash or make a small mistake as he goes under the white line just for two tires, but not the entire tires. And now going to the chicane, and Evan takes it right, but makes a little bit of a drift. Pikachu has been also a decently not far back. But looking at the thing here, Trexton and Rusty are at it again. Here they come at the chicane. Trexton now hits the curves, but that won't be much of a problem for him and Rusty either. Now this time Trexton wins it out instead of Rusty. But now here they come at the last turn. Looks like no advantage to either teams since Trexton's also using Mios. Oh, it looks like Tris is pitted. For the Ferrari driver has now pitted in for what tires will he go on then? Oh, it's also in the same strat as Ramza. He's using the softs. Looks like overcut from what knee is trying to say, or it's a small undercut because I think Chris has a small advantage over Pika, or something else that we don't know. And Evans now pulling away from Pika. Yeah, Evans having a massive gap over Pika, 4 seconds. VIP is also not that far behind. He's just two seconds far back. Blob, oh, there's a massive train here, but not much of a train. Blob is far ahead than P4 for the Ferrari right here. Evans also coming into the pits. What tires will he hop onto? He's not running on the mediums, but Pikachu now looks like he's champion at the moment. VIP also stays out. Evan comes in and he pits for the mediums. He hops on the mediums. Blobs comes in. And now that means, oh, looks like Tronics Unlimited gotten ahead of Evan now. It looks like he's not in a really good position, but he might be able to get out good. But Blob now, he's also on the mediums. And, oh boy, all foul. Oh, this is not good for Alpine as they're not in a good position. But Pika leads now. So he's still champion from here on, but I don't wanna underestimate right now. And VIP just right behind, about 3 seconds. Still 3, but 3 tenths off. Limit to P3, but also Tronex. They're side by side. Rome's is not far behind. They're not going to the DRS straight. Tronex looks like he's got an upper advantage over the Alfa Romeo. Here they come at the chicane now. Rome's is also in the fight, but he's not that much behind. But now he is right behind Limit. And Pikachu pits now, but we're still at this fight. Tronex wins out this fight. But all Limits also pits, which means he will back out. But also Pikachu and VIP pits. Limit Limit also pits, but oh, and Mr. Rusty. Both Alfa Romeos are in the pits, and Pikachu's gotten on the mediums, VIP on the softs. Limit goes on the mediums, but Rusty also goes on the softs. This is some very interesting tactics, but oh, looks like Tronex is second for RDA. Evan's also there. If he gets P1 here, he might get a shot, but we don't know yet. And yeah, looks like Rusty. Yeah, looks like Ramza leads the race with a purple. First sector, and right behind is Tronex and Trexton. Looks like Evan and Trexton are having a small duel. And Evan's starting to win out this fight. Yep, Evan wins out this fight. Trexton is a goner here. But oh yeah, it looks like Ramza's going really fast. Two purple sectors now. He reaches now. Goes around the corner, final corner, and let's see will he get fastest lap or not? And Ramza gets fastest lap, and but also entered the yellow sector. But this is really good, but still gets a fastest lap for Ramza. Evan now looks like not good so far from what he said. Pika will be champion if it stays like this. He needs Pika to be 9th or lower, or DNFs right away, but we don't know yet. And Evan and Tronex, not that close. For crossing the line here, VIP is right behind Pika, but not that much far behind. Looks like there's blue flags. Oh, Looks like Alpha's already being catched up. It's already still lap 13. And Romza is like, Romza's not, Romza's in a good position. But not for Evan, because he needs P1 and Pika to be a much more lower position. Under the chicane, Alpha is really slow. Ramza, and there's already blue flags waving around. Goes around the final corner. Alpha takes up a little bit of the space, what Ramza needed. But Ramza overtakes Alpha. Now taking turn on one. Pink is also next to get out lap. And Ja isn't having a good time. So does Zector. And oh boy, a little bit of a lag there, and another big lag. But yeah, it looks like Ramza might also lap Pumping here if he catches up, or pits sooner or later. And Traxton having a fight with Tronex, having a small fight. And Evan, oh, looks like Evan's lost some time. Looks like Chris is overtaking him, and Chris overtakes Evan. And looks like we didn't see what happened, what the mistake he did. But looks like Chris is now ahead of Evan, but this won't stay the same. If Evan gives a really good shove here, and now it looks like he is going for a really good shove. Evan and Chris now they're side by side. Evan is really fast here on the Mercedes going around the chicane. Evan looks like he's leading, but he hits the curb. No problem for him. No problem for Chris either. Chris is not that far behind. And Alpha's ahead. And yeah, going around the final corner, Alpha pits, but that won't be topic of the year. But Evan and Chris now going around turn one. Chris is still leading, and oh, Evans lost a little bit of the rear end. Looks like Tronic spits, but Evan now looks like he's lost the fight here from my screen anyway. But looks like Chris now has the upper hand over the Mercedes, and oh, they're still side by side. These drivers are unseparatable. Chris and Evan, but also Pikachu are fighting for the championship here. Every mistake here can cost an entire championship. This is not what any driver would want so far. And no, and they're still going. Chris wins out this fight. Evan loses out, unfortunately, and really disappointing for Evan, as he needs to get ahead of Chris and Ramza. And it's like warning for Tron from the FIA knee race control. Looks like it's a warning for cutting turn 2. And Ramza still leading. Oh, Traxon comes in. And looks like Koala said Ramza's lost a bit of time. Maybe a small slide. Let's see. So nobody has crashed yet, but Trexton, here he comes out the pits. He has mediums right now. He comes out in the mediums. He can't stay on this exact. He can stay on these tires for the entire race, but it'll be a big small gamble. And where is Chris? Evan's not that far behind. Still going straight for the DRS. Evan's still behind, not catching up. This is not looking good for Evan. He needs to be P1. Chris and Pika to be really low if he wants hope for his championship here. VIP and Blob now getting 2 red sectors. Oh, Evans lost the rear end a little there. And now going into turn 1. Not that much gain for Evan. It's a lonely race for Romza right now with 8 seconds ahead. Romza is pretty much dominating this entire race now. And Mr. Alfal, the Alpine, looks like he doesn't have much hope for the team now because he's losing a lot of time. Also really, really slow, which is disappointing. Oh, it looks like Kazoo's spitting. Oh, what tires has he hopped on? So he's hopping on the mediums. Ignore the broad GP car, thank you. Kazoo's hopping on the mediums. He comes out. Oh, and looks like he had to cut turn 2. But he was exiting the pits. Oh no, Kazoo goes off. Kazoo goes off. And that was, ooh, maybe karma for cutting that turn? Or did he have to do it respectfully? But looks like Kazoo's gotten a warning for cutting turn 1. Right now he's P12, not having much fun here. But it looks like he'll have to lap Alphal here, who is right now P16, which is not really fun for him. And we might lose Alpine this season after surviving for 3 seasons. But let's see what will happen. And looks like Evan. Evan looks like, oh, looks like Evan's getting chased by who's that right behind? And looks like a lap car from. Oh, no, it's like popping because now it's starting to get lapped by the top 3. Romza's already lapped him, pretty sure. Cosma now is the soon next to be lapped. Romza's not that far behind. And Zector. Zector was fast, but now he's just gone. Doesn't look like he's improving that much as well, which is disappointing. Cosma. Oh, Romza comes in now. But yeah, Romza's not pitting. He has a 9-second gap. What tires is he gonna go on to? Softs will be questionable, but med or hard. Um, that sounds like a good option. Oh, Chris comes in as well, and Romza comes in for medium tires. It it's a good choice. It's a good choice. You can use those for the and the 10 remaining laps from the leaderboard. And Chris goes on the mediums. Just like Ramza, he goes on the medium. Evan takes the lead, but he doesn't have much things to do here. He has to hope Pikachu crashes out, or at the end, or has to go lower positions. But Chris isn't giving up yet. He's still going, but he also needs to crash out for Evan to win. But we won't know who will win. But for now, it looks like Pika's winning from I understand. Oh, looks like um yeah. And Rusty now P5 after being far back. And Rusty's far back, and Chris right now not that far behind Rusty. Limit now getting hunted down by Blob, and looks like Pika will win championship. Will become champion from what Nee said. Thank you, but it's not confirmed unfortunately. If it stays like this, it might be different here. Limit and Blob. Oh, now they're having a fight. They're having a big fight here. Blob takes the outside lane, loses the rear end a little bit. Limit's just right behind, and now going around the outside. Blob goes on the curbs. Now running with only 9. Yeah, sorry, and now going through this very notorious turn. Very notorious for everyone messing up a lot, especially for qualifying. Very bad, but here they come on the DRS zone. Looks like Blob's lost out. Limit will stay P7 for now, unless he makes a mistake. And looks like Ramza. Oh, Ramza has overtaken Pikachu, and Ramza now is now second place. Is he? It looks like from here, striking distance in lap 22 or 20, like striking distance at lap 23, right here, striking distance. But looks like for champion, it looks like it might be Pika. Yeah, and straight. And Evans lost a lot of time as it went from 3 seconds to now 2.2. Ramza might be able to strike on Evan at the chicane. If Evan keeps making more mistakes, he will obviously not get the championship here. But if Pika overtakes Evan, then Pika might win the championship here. And it looks like Blob and Limit having a fight again. Limit again, still ahead, but Blob isn't not even near. But he's still really, really close. Tronex and Trexton. Looks like they're having a small bickering to each other. But looks like here at the backfield, Zector and oh, never mind. Anyways, Evan and Pikachu pits both Mercedes. There's not that much lap time here, not laps here anymore. They have to go on the softs, or else they're making a big risk. VIP comes in as well. The Red Bull now pits, and Evan looks like he's spitting. He's spitted for the softs. Oh, RB. Thanks for sorry. And looks like Pika's on the softs as well. And looks like Chris might win this actually. Pika's not on a really good position unless the timing boards change. Yeah, looks like Chris might win this. Um, who's leading? Yeah, looks like Rusty now. From far back is now at top three. Uh, Ramza having a lonely race at the top and overtakes laps Alpha again, but Evan now gets a purple sector 2 and 23 out of 29. This isn't looking good for this isn't looking really good now. Yeah, this isn't really looking good, but there's like oh my. It looks like there's a car that came in. I see that's one of the Alfa Romeos. I think that was Pupping because both Alfa Romeos are staying out. And Pupping also comes in, but also Limit 23 out of 29. But when Ramza crosses the line, it's gonna be 24 out of 29. That will be fifth. Pika will win World Championship. It stays like this. If Pika gets higher position over Evan, then it's a high chance. Currently not live. Yeah. And Evan's now getting a purple sector. Looks like Rusty getting catched now by Evan. He's lacking a lot now. Zector, who's a lap car, is also falling down. Pika needs, it looks like from knee, Pika needs to just get 2 points, and Evan needs to win in order for it. If Pika overtakes Evan, then it might be decided for Pika to win. But we don't know the championship standing since we can't see it live on Roblox here. Sorry. On oh, there's a Haas at the last corner. Who's that? Zector's lost his front wing off the track. Like he's hit the wall, and he's gonna have to do one more lap with those tires up the wing. But looks like he's stopped. I think he's given up since he's lapped. Has no hope. Oh, Zector's disconnected. And Ja P11 not looking good. And looks like I don't think we're not getting a single safety car here. And I don't think we will get a safety car anyways, since it's about lap 24. And will anyone crash? Will anyone crash out? Or even one of the top championship leaders will. And it looks like both top 2 and 4 are Evan and Pika, but also Chris are together. Mr. Rusty's now falling down. Oh no, Evans hit the wall. He goes off. Keep going straight, going to the turn 1. And Chris now leading. Yeah. Here comes Evan now. right behind. Pika's just right also behind. It's only lap 25 at 29. And Chris is still leading. Just a 1 second gap. Evan now looks like he isn't winning at all, but from right here, Pika is winning at the championship at the moment from our prospect right now. And Pikachu now P4, Evan P3, and Chris P2. And looks like after this lap, there's no more SC safety car. Evan's hope, Evan's hopes, and Pika's might go out here, but looks like Pika might win from what Nee is saying. Oh, and Ramza has lost the rear end there a little, but he keeps going. It should be fine for him. He doesn't crash out at all. Now going to turn one, and oh, and Evan's losing out to Chris, and oh, Chris hits the wall, and oh, looks like Evans has overtaken Chris. He's P2. Evan is now P2 at the moment. 26 out of 29. And oh, Alpha's crashed! Alpha is out! But there's no more safety car anymore as the lap has. As. Oh, what the why is Alpha. Why is Alpha at the map? What am I looking at here? Alright, anyways. Evan's now ahead of Chris. Pika right now is like P4, but I think he will win World Championship right now. Right here. It looks like Romza now going around the final corner. He sees the Alpine right there. Oh, ignores it right now. It says no overtaking at the current moment since it's a yellow flag, so nobody can overtake yet. If Pika gets close to Chris, he might have to back off here because no overtaking. And looks like Chris cut at sector 2. So yeah, they keep going, and Evans looks like he's had a small mare there at the last corner. And Chris again hits the wall, and Pika's getting a run here. And I'm going on the turn 1. Pika's got in the third purple sector. He's going real fast here. If he overtakes Chris, then that would mean Pika would win. Oh, Pika! And Pika overtakes Chris right off there. And now here comes Pika's now ahead of Chris. Pika looks like still gonna win. Lap 27 out of 29. There's not that much laps left. And Chris keeps going. Chris and Pika for P3 at the current moment. Pika keeps running around, but Chris won't. He's just right behind. He's getting the slipstream advantage here, but Pika's not getting any advantage from the slipstream. But he still keeps going. Here they come at the chicane. Who's gonna mess? Is anyone gonna mess up here, or just keeping going? And Chris looks like Pika's messed up a little, and Chris gets ahead of Pika again. And Chris doesn't hit the wall this time. It's lap 20, and this is the second to last lap. Ramza is definitely gonna win here unless he makes a mistake that could cost him this win for Williams. So now goes around third, 3, Chris and Pika. Then Pika's just right behind. Pika breaks way early, way much more late. Chris goes off. Pika gets ahead of Chris again. And looks like Poppy's crashed. Oh, Poppy's crashed also at the chicane. And Jaw passes by, but that's and also a yellow flag. Popping crashes at the last sector. Ramza now keeps going, and Pika. It's like Pika's ahead of Chris. That means and no overtaking. So Chris can't overtake Pika unless the yellow flag's over. This has put it at this big disadvantage over Chris unless he's just nearby. He needs to keep up with Pika or else he won't be able to get that podium there. But he still loses the championship as it's now back to green. Point to the chicane. Pika takes it amazingly. And now keeping going at the final corner. It's the final lap. Roms is winning this, but Pika's definitely winning. And Evan now laps Cosma P13. Big rip for the Aston Martin driver. And Williams is still sitting comfortably P1. just cruising the entire race with a massive domination. And Rusty looks like having a lonely race, but so does Tronex. And P7. And Ramza, now at the DRS straight, Evan has no hope of winning the championship so far. And Pika now looks like our champion from what we see now. And it has been an amazing season here in SF1R at season 3. And we will see season 4 now, maybe next year. But here comes Ramza. Around the final corner. He wins the Dubai Grand Prix. Ramza wins for Williams and takes P1. Here comes Evan now, who doesn't win the championship. Evan crosses the line and gets a podium to finish off the season. And Pikachu's the world champion for season 3. Pikachu wins. And crispy for... wag na kayo mang-ingay.
Matter of fact, everyone living, we are not even do the post-race commentating yet. So result after Ramsat just take the win, even is P2, but that doesn't enough for him to take the championship from Pika, which he is the current Season 3 SF1R driver champion. Behind is Chris, and then VIP, which is doing very good, but the cut just fucking run him up. Trexton after a fucking while in the goddamn, he somehow made it into the P6. He's behind Trons. Some bad strategy, I don't know. Yeah, after he taken some aggressive. That's all. Hey, bye.